This is post-exit planning. Find the dress that fits you. So here's an excerpt from my book titled Toxic Encounters: Why People Pursue Rebound Relationships. And I'm going to read the passage and then give a quick analysis on it. Finding a dress that fits is not the easiest process to do because dresses are uniquely different from two-part or three-part garments. With a shirt and pair of pants, you could choose a larger or smaller size in either option. You could get a smaller blouse to accentuate your upper region and a size larger for the skirt or pants so that you do not feel constricted in your lower region. The goal is to get the two items that best fit you for what you hope to accomplish for the day. There is a difference between a romantic partner and a life partner. Wear the dress that fits you. So we don't always know how to find the right dress that fits us because we haven't really spent enough time in reflection about who we are. We keep choosing abusive relationships because of our own past experiences with abuse and trauma. So we choose what we know. We do what we know. But finding the right dress takes process. It takes time. Any woman who understands knows how hard it is to find a dress that fits you on all of your body, not just parts of your body, but all of your body, and fits you perfectly. That's a dress that's going to take time to look for. You can't go to just one store. You can't visit just one rack, and you can't do that just in one day. It's almost like a wedding dress. You have sure the day that you find the wedding dress of your dreams, you say, "Oh, I found the dress," right? And it looks like you found it in that moment and only in that moment. But you really been thinking about that dress, the dress for I don't know how many times, how long, and you have gone to stores thinking about whether or not this dress right here is going to be the right dress for you, and even trying that dress on, even if you were saying to yourself, "I'm not looking for my wedding dress just yet." But finding the right dress, finding the dress that fits you, meaning your personality, the way you think about things, your worldview, the fact that you've gone to college or completed college, you're on a career trajectory. It's hard to be with somebody who has no aim when you have all the aim in the world, and you think, let me give him some of my aim and believe for him, and hopefully something will ignite in him to want to do something. But it shouldn't take you coming into his life for him to be triggered. That is something that should come from within, that he has a dream in his heart and he's been working towards it in some kind of way. For instance, you can't say that I want to get a record deal, but you have no portfolio of work. You haven't rapped on anything. You haven't put anything into a concrete form so you can show the person or let the person hear it. You can't say that you are an artist and you don't have a portfolio of work. You can't say that you are a writer and you don't have a portfolio of work. You can't say that you are a software developer and you don't have a digital portfolio, right? So when you think about trying to find the right dress for you, you're thinking about it in terms of creating sort of like a portfolio of you thinking about you, even if you don't put that in concrete form, because it could be just you journaling in your book, and that could be concrete form. But it's the time you take for yourself to think about you and know what it is that you actually want. We keep jumping into relationships because we don't know what we want. A good guy comes along and we don't know how to receive that person, and we are indifferent to that person because we're not used to a record of good men approaching us, or we are only used to a record of good men that we have rejected, or we don't know how to recognize a good man. And it's usually the latter, that we don't know how to recognize a good man, because um, it could be because we have been exposed to different types of men who were not good men, or who were good men but we weren't ready, or they were good men but they were kind of possessive or something like that, right? But there is somebody. I'm not saying there is the one for you. I'm saying there is someone who matches your personality, who matches your hustle, who matches your savings ability, who matches your work ethic. That's what I mean. That you don't want someone who has no work ethic if you have a strong work ethic. If you have a go-to attitude, get up and get it done type attitude. There's nothing wrong in some ways that if the person is still a go-getter, he may not be as fast as you. He'll still get something done, but it's not at your speed. There's nothing wrong with being with that person, because he's being exposed to a person who with speed, and you're being exposed with a person with less speed, and you both can complement each other in particular contexts, right? Where you are hasty, he's not hasty. Where he's too slow, you can give him a little bit of a rhythm. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's hard to be with somebody who lacks the emotional regulation, that every time you turn around, they have to walk off and slam doors and get loud and curse you out and throw things. They can't just have a civil adult conversation about their issues, about the issues with the relationship, issues with themselves. They have to walk off jobs and curse the supervisor out and almost be arrested because they don't know how to act right as an adult on a job. That's not the right dress that fits you. Even because eventually that's going to create some problems for you. You know, it's going to definitely hit your finances, because if they're the types of people who go to a club, go to a bar, and have to get in to fight with somebody, okay, that's bail money. Well, any money taken out of the relationship, out of the house, is going to affect other types of finances that you have to be concerned with, especially rent, food, transportation, etc. Right? That's not the dress that fits you. If you have a person who's in and out of jail, a person who has a substance abuse problem, I understand that we all want to stand by someone who is struggling. But when you are struggling and you recognize that you are struggling, you go and seek resources to help you resolve that struggle. If you don't see a person actually trying to resolve that struggle, they don't think it's a struggle. You may be calling it a struggle, but they're not calling it a struggle. And if they're not calling it a struggle, it's not up to you to continue calling it a struggle. It's only up to you to exit the relationship until they get the help that they need. And some people say, well, I can't get the help that I need unless you help me. No, that's not the case. You're not a psychologist. You're not a psychiatrist. You're not a substance abuse rehabilitation specialist. You don't have the tools to help him in that area. And you comforting him is only going to coddle him into doing nothing about the situation, because he's looking for a very quick solution, one that's going to be less inconvenient. So if you hug him, you feed him food, you love on him, you give him sex, he's looking for that quick solution. The solution of the problem of feeling inconvenience requires a solution of giving him sex for convenience, right? Okay, well, he never addresses the immediate problem, his substance abuse, he's an alcoholic, or he's a cheater. He just leaves the house and cheats all the time. It can be a struggle for him, or it can be a lifestyle for him. Regardless, it's something as a 100% responsible adult he needs to address. There's only so much you can do in a situation. You can't continue to talk to him through it. You can't continue to help him. You can pray for him from a distance. But eventually, he's going to have to use his mind to move him towards change. So finding the right dress requires a process that might also require you not to engage sexually. There's a lot that a person will show you when They are frustrated and can't get their own way. Here it is, they want to have sex and you don't want to have sex. It reveals a lot about who they are as a person when they are not getting what they want. But whereas men want sex, women want commitment, and they want sex from you, but they won't give you commitment. Okay, then it's time to stop having sex because you're not getting what you want. They're getting everything they want, but you're not getting what you want. So finding the dress that fits you. What is it that you want? Do you want to have sex with someone before marriage? If you are okay with that and sex is on the table, okay, sex is on the table. But then what else do you want beyond sex being on the table? Because you also have to tap into the thinking of men. As long as they are giving sex, why would they have to now engage you in marriage? Okay, then if you want to get married, you've already failed in your first goal in giving sex. So what's the dress for him? What's the dress for you? Does he want to live together? Do you agree to live together? And then you set the time limit. We're going to live together for a year. That's it. And we are going to marry after a year or I'm leaving. And you need to be careful to say that and believe it and mean it. Because you can stay, you got people who stay in relationships 9, 10, 15, 20 years, never married, and say at the end of their marriage, at the end of their relationship, that they wish they had actually set better boundaries and pushed for marriage much earlier. Because 1 year turns into another, and you are sitting up with somebody 10 years, and you have not accomplished the goal that you wanted to accomplish. So wearing the dress that fits you will require conversation. Not sex, conversation. We can learn more about somebody at the dinner table than we can in the bed. That people have a way of revealing themselves while they are eating a meal, while you are both eating a meal, than while you are both in bed with each other. Even if you are your most vulnerable in the bed with someone having sex. But they will reveal more of their vulnerabilities if you have conversation at the dinner table. You'll be surprised. It doesn't seem like that's what they would do. One thing I know for sure, they will let you talk. So that's them revealing themselves, that they're trying to figure out who you are. So then also let them talk. If they're not willing to talk, something about their behavior should be suspect, because I thought we're getting to know each other. So that means you didn't come to the dinner to actually get to know each other. You came to the dinner to read me, so to determine when you could pursue sex with me, right? So wear the dress that fits you. If you're a talkative person, you do want to be with someone who is a talkative person. You also want to be with somebody who's a listener just as much as you need to be a listener, right? If you don't engage in certain risky, sexy, sex type behavior, then don't marry a person who engages in risky sex behavior. It is not going to benefit you long term. There may be a lot of little kinkiness at the beginning of the relationship, but if that's not your thing, it's going to wear you thin. He may be energized by it, but you may not be energized by it, right? If you don't want kids, wear the dress that fits you. Do not have kids. Don't let the person change your mind about kids. Do not be with the person. I understand that you can love somebody and don't want to give up and don't want to lose out on that kind of relationship, but that person could also decide to abandon and divorce you once you have that child. And if you want kids, I'm quite sure you want a family too. So it might be better for you to go on ahead and experience that hurt now and wait for the right person to come along, the person who wants to have kids, who likes the same dress that you like, who wants to have kids, and then you can be together and love each other and love your kids together. So finding the right dress is going to take process. It's one of those things that I have for my pre-singles counseling coaching curriculum, dating with a purpose, or dating with purpose planning, that there's a purpose behind what you are doing. and that process, that purpose will require process and time. So wear the dress that fits you. Hopefully you were able to gain some insight from this quick video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, visit my website for more content. You can send me an email and I will reply. You can purchase the book when it becomes available, spring 2021, Toxic Encounters, Why People Pursue Rebound Relationships. And then it's a title change from Bait, Hook, and Switch, Confessions of a Rebound Girl. Thank you very much for visiting the channel.